Welcome back to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. The ongoing demolition of structures that have been constructed on riparian land is causing a lot of havoc in the country. And opinions are divided, and there are those people who feel that we should let the poor Kenyans that have resided on riparian land to do the same and have a structured manner of destroying the structures as we give them alternative places to live and move on with their life without interrupting the course of their lives. And others are saying that this must not be tolerated because just the other day you saw the mayhem that was caused by the floods when the rivers are now looking for their path and families lost their lives and people were displaced. The Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua, in whose docket William Ruto strategically and intentionally placed the responsibility of leading the demolitions, has rejected the calls because Rigathi was given the task of leading the Nairobi River, the cleaning and ensuring that the river banks are free without any constructions. And recently he told Kenyans and he warned leaders that if they continue destroying people's property, they will meet the very people, the very hustlers at the ballot box in the next 3 years. He was talking of 2027 and many believed he was warning his boss, William Ruto. There is another discussion that the demolitions are only targeting the poor, the rich who have built on riparian land in the upper estates like Runda, and the environment and environs are not being touched at all. So the law is being applied, but it's not applied equally. But there is a video that I saw it on Philip Itale's wall. Philip Itale, I think, is the director of communication, if I'm not wrong, in Raila's camp. And Philip Itale shared this video of demolitions going on. I've been trying to look at exactly which estate, which area. This I couldn't find. But Philip Itali has just said two things that sad. This is sad. And it is a video of a lady who witnessed the demolitions going on. And I think she just realized that her mom was inside that house. And she chatted as if she was going. I think she just, it dawned on her that the demolitions would end the life of her mom. And instead of those people listening to him, they carried her away. Of course, charging towards that bulldozer would also mean that she could also be injured in the process. And I want us to watch this video, just less than 1 minute. If you listen to the conversation going on there, this lady was telling them, you want to kill my mom. I don't know that she's talking of my mother or my father, but either of them. And she's saying, you want to kill my mother alive. And she's being asked, when did you realize? Because it seems to me that there was a notice was given and maybe they dilly-dallied, maybe they were looking for somewhere to settle for some reasons. Because the officers and the people who are around there are asking, Saindi umegundua ya kwamba, you know, all that. But my worry is one, ladies and gentlemen. I know sometimes it reaches a point where you don't want to blame anyone. You simply want to rise up and solve a problem. And the problem at hand was a lady is there, demolitions are going on, and the lady is telling them, someone is stuck inside the structures that you are demolishing. She was not telling them, I want my money. She was not talking of picking anything. She was just telling them, someone is inside there, and when you are demolishing, allow me to remove her. The best that they could have done is to stop the demolitions. The policemen are there. They can take cover. Someone can escort her so that they can take or rescue the person who was stuck inside there. Because let us come to think of it. The reason why the government is doing the demolitions is to help the larger masses from from going through what we went through, where the river banks over flooded and the floods got into the estates and people died. And they're doing this to help, which is also just okay. But why? You are saying that you want to save lives that are being, you know, devastated by the floods. At the same time, there is a person, a human being, inside the structures that you're demolishing. And the best they should have done, if I was in charge of the demolitions, is just to halt for a moment, pick the person who's inside there, and then you come back. And I thought this was not the best way to do it. William Ruto himself, while he was campaigning against Uhuru, criticized the demolitions. And he promised the Nairobians and the Kenyans at large that in case he takes over power, then he will ensure that before structures are demolished, he will do it in a humane manner, and that they will have a meeting with the people to make prior arrangements on where you would take them. Because he was giving an example that it is not proper that someone is coming back from work or from wherever he was during the day, then he finds utensils scattered everywhere. Everything has been messed up because the government is actualizing demolitions, maybe through a court order or something. Right now, William Ruto has negated the very promises that he gave to Kenyans. And I think we should be very humane. I understand that there is a thin line between what we now describe as humane, because someone will tell you that if we let them continue living in structures that will block river lines, then we are harboring even more disaster ahead, because it will reach a time when the rivers can come during the night, they can flood overnight, and we lose the whole population. And at the same time, when you destroy their structures and you don't know where you want to take them, children are disrupted, they're supposed to go to school, parents have to make arrangements, it's not proper. So there's a thin line. And I think this is a policy issue where we should ensure that when we are approving structures, where to build them, the staff that is inspecting, I think this is the city inspectorate department or something. You apply and they give you the green light to start building structures. They should also be held responsible, because we are dealing with a problem that started when, in fact, some of them who approved those structures have retired. Others have gone to their rural shacks, rural homes. Others perhaps are not even there. They might be dead now. But we inherit this, and the people who are suffering because of decisions that were made. Some of them are very innocent. I mean, like tenants are very innocent. Sometimes when you go, you might not even know that this is, this falls within the line of a river path. So there should be stringent measures so that those who approve those buildings and structures must be held responsible. The government must also deal with corruption, because what has ruled and the reason behind those structures is just corruption. Someone is given some little money carelessly, without thinking of the repercussion of building on those riparian lands, approves, and then the people who also give the bribery and build on such structures must also be dealt with. We shouldn't wait for people to build, tenants occupy the structures, then in the middle of nowhere we just come and we want to disrupt a normal living. There must be a deliberate effort where the government says we want to do a radical surgery and we want to root out corruption. We want to deal with the cartels in this ministry, and extends to the how title deeds are being issued. And when William Ruto wants to finish this, we must also not spare the rich, because I understand that there are the rivers are flowing towards Madare and these other estates, but it starts from the uplands, the up estates, those Runda and all those like I've mentioned, but you don't see them being interfered with. They are there. Their lives are not being, interfered with, except for the natural disasters like flooding. And so, ladies and gentlemen, this is an issue that cannot be dealt with just by bringing the bulldozers to, demolish structures. And like I said, there's a thin line. You've seen the UDA government divided in the middle. Leaders who are supposed to come together and brood upon this and find a solution are, making it a campaign thing, populist kind of declarations, instead of sitting down together and come up with a proper structure. They cannot. And this is why I'm saying that it is not proper. They should sit down. That's why every government has got think tanks who can sit down and find a solution that it might not be a perfect one, but one that will balance between the government ensuring that the larger masses do not suffer as a result of floods, and at the same time ensuring that they don't disrupt lives that go on in the slums. And again, like I said, let us target the rich and the slums. Let us not just target one side. Of course, we heard that it was the bottom up. I don't know this is also bottom up, but that video was really touching, because I don't know what happened. I don't know whether the person, the mother or the father who was inside that structure got stuck and she is dead as we speak. I don't know whether they found a solution and evacuated. I don't know. But I think let us be very humane. For those who are doing the demolitions, let us be very humane. And even to the common man, those who live in those structures, once there is a notice, enough notice, let us remove our things. It is better just to remove them and place them outside. Remove our people and ensure that they're not inside. You better have your mother outside than having him inside when the bulldozers are raging, because the bulldozer is working under order. Sometimes he might not stop when it's not told to stop. So it calls upon the government and the people of Kenya to follow the law. If we will not follow the law, we are headed to destruction. And that's my take.